What is up, guys? Today I am so excited because we are headed to France. France is one of my favorite places in the entire world, especially southern France, and that is where we are headed in about 5 minutes. The Uber is literally almost here for the launch of the new McLaren GT. Got my bags ready. I like to pack super light so I don't have to check anything. So of course I'm gonna be filming a full review about what it's like to drive the McLaren GT on some of the best roads in the world, but I'm also gonna give you a behind the scenes look of what it's actually like to attend a supercar press launch. The launches aren't always just about the car. It's about the car and how that fits into a luxurious lifestyle or whatever type of lifestyle the car suits. So apparently when I get picked up from the airport in Nice, I'm taking a helicopter to Tropez, staying at an insane hotel, and then we're about to go for a crazy drive. All right, let's go to the airport. Just finished a 10-hour flight to Paris. I'm exhausted, but extremely excited at the same time. Rushed over the gate because I got an hour-and-a-half flight to Nice that I'm about to miss, actually. It's on last call right now. This is actually one of the coolest looking airports I've ever seen. And just like that, we made it to Nice. Well guys, I couldn't be more excited now to be in the south of France. This is one of my favorite places in the entire world. In fact, for you OG subscribers, one of my first vlogs ever on the channel was actually filmed on a family vacation in southern France. But things are about to get insane because we are hopping in a helicopter and taking it to Tropez.
This is awesome.
All right, well, it doesn't get much more special than that. Arriving to this enormous mansion. Apparently this was somebody's private residence, but now McLaren has rented it out in a helicopter. The craziest part about this place isn't actually a hotel, it's a private residence. So I know I'm not a hotel or house reviewer, but we gotta do a little tour of this place because it is absolutely spectacular. And I heard there's some pretty priceless art inside as well.
Helicopter taking off to pick up more people. Look at these random statues.
This place is absolutely spectacular. I can't believe I'm spending the night here tonight. Now for dinner, we've got this beautiful setup over here. We're gonna have a catered dinner. We got the McLaren GT right there. I believe a whole bunch of McLarens over there. Let's go check out the inside of this place. Check this out, a whole lineup of McLaren GTs in a bunch of different colors. So far, I've only seen them in the flesh in 2 different colors, the launch goldish color, and then this beautiful green out at Goodwood Festival of Speed. But now we get a whole bunch more. Interestingly, they've got a makeshift little shop that they set up in a tent back there, working on the cars, getting ready for tomorrow's drive.
I'm absolutely in love with this light green color.
The official name, for those wondering, is Viridian, but light green works too.
The spec on that 720S, love it. all of the random artwork everywhere throughout this place. And look how big this house is. Oh my God.
The inside of this place is even more exquisite than the outside. There's beautiful artwork everywhere, some of the strangest but coolest touches. Check it out. There's 3 rocks with 3 different world times on them because why not? Let's go check out my room. All right, we are room 320. No way, it even says my name on the door. Let's go inside the room. Oh, wow. This place keeps getting more and more ridiculous, from my name being on the door to McLaren's on the screen to, I thought this was a desk, but it turns out it's actually a bathtub. I'm definitely gonna need to take a bath in that later. Look at the shower, the bed. This is easily the nicest house I've ever been in my entire life. And the view, look how stunning the view is. And I'm late for dinner. Let's go. Just had a fabulous dinner downstairs. Now we gotta explore the rest of this house and also go over a really cool display they set up for the McLaren GT, because of course, that is why we are in France in the first place, to drive the all-new McLaren. I love how every time you come to a McLaren launch event, they give you the associated car in a model. I've got a ton of these at this point. All right, before we leave the room, check out this bathroom. Look at this toilet seat. You open the door, it instantly opens up, and it has more controls than most luxury cars do. Everything from pressure of the water to position to heating. I don't know why I'm talking about a bathroom right now, but I thought that was kind of cool. All right, I just took the elevator down to floor -1 because apparently there's a music studio inside this house. Oh my God. Look at this place, guys. We've got full-size timpanis. I think I'm gonna need to play a little timpani, although it's literally 11 p.m. Everyone's eating it at the bar right now, but I figured I'd film a little extra content for you guys. That's pretty awesome. Then a range of guitars, but I just realized they're all Guitar Hero guitars. That's pretty funny. Cool little foosball table, some more guitars, a drum set, a bunch of games, some motorcycles, more art on the walls. Check this out. In here, there's a ballet studio. Do some ballet action, stretch up for tomorrow. And then in here, there's another workout area. Look at that, a rock climbing treadmill. How sick is that? All right, hopefully I don't die before driving the McLaren GT, but let's try this thing out. That is insane. Are you serious? I love all the random artwork. I recently learned that Tropez is a huge place for modern art, and that is extremely apparent. Look, we've got random animal tusks on the wall, and then there's a door right here that says hungry on it. So I'm a little hungry, although I just ate. Little pantry action. Look at this room. You can actually change the color of it with this scroller wheel. That's awesome. All right, back upstairs we go. All right, you can't even see my face anymore, but I just realized I haven't even been to the front of the house yet because we landed in the backyard via a helicopter. This entrance is absolutely spectacular with a giant sculpture of some clamshells. I feel like I'm in the middle of some sort of ancient ceremony with all these guys with different elements around me. And through the front door we go. So we just entered the living room. It is unbelievably expansive. Check this out, we've got a see-through piano. But one of my favorite parts is actually these carbon fiber chairs right here. You'd imagine sitting on carbon fiber wouldn't be comfortable whatsoever, but they've actually made them so thin that they deform slightly when you sit on them. And they're actually unbelievably comfortable. Who would have thought? Carbon fiber chairs. Maybe we'll see these in the next McLaren model. Could you imagine this being your living room? Holy moly.
what's in here.
Just kidding, I actually know what was in this room. This is where they did the launch presentation for the McLaren GT. So anytime you go to one of these launch events, they do a little 30-minute to an hour presentation briefing everybody on the car and the history of the company, as well as the company's future. But what's really cool is they have some individual components from the McLaren GT that are taken out of the vehicle so you can highlight and see them more closely. One of the coolest is this component right here. Has to do with the rear storage compartment in the GT. So the McLaren GT is, of course, a GT car, meaning it has to be comfortable, it has to be practical, it has to store a decent amount of luggage space, but because it's a McLaren, it also has to be lightweight and fun to drive all at the same time. As you guys know from my previous video on the car, it's actually a mid-engine GT car, which is extremely rare, actually a first for the segment. Because it's mid-engine, luggage space has to be done in a very creative way. So we can see with the schematic here
that they've taken the engine, they've lowered it 120 millimeters downwards to allow for extra storage space right here in the rear hatch. Now, if we come over to this rotating model here, we can get a better look of that rear hatch space. Right there. Now you can actually fit 2 full-size sets of skis in there. You could also fit a golf bag if there's not skis, or a ton of other luggage if you want to do a weekend trip to Tropez, so on and so forth.
The immediate thing that came to mind, however, is if you have your luggage right above the engine, isn't it gonna get really hot? What if you went to the store, you bought a bunch of ice cream or eggs, you're using it as a practical daily driven vehicle? Well, isn't it gonna get super hot because the engine's right underneath? Well, McLaren has employed a very, very cool solution to fix that. Instead of just pumping air conditioning into the cabin, trying to battle the heat that way, they've done something similar to a wetsuit. So this is how it was described to me. I don't know all the technologies behind wetsuits, but how it was explained to me is, simply put, the wetsuit traps a thin layer of water against your body warms that layer of water, and then the wetsuit traps that in so you maintain temperature. Now this works the exact opposite way.
So taking a look at the storage compartment here, this is where we would have, now it's not to scale, your luggage right here, this nice leather, and then underneath is a heat shield. And then underneath that would be the exhaust and the engine.
So in order to keep this area cool, they've employed a really cool technique using airflow. So if we come over to the schematic again, of course, a lot of the air through the side intake is going into the engine to feed the engine, to cool it down. But some of the air actually travels over the engine and underneath the heat shield here to make sure that air is moving at all times. Because we've got constant airflow from the air vents passing underneath the storage compartment, it actually cools the temperature down significantly, meaning the luggage compartment is at a normal ambient temperature. We've actually got some figures here.
The heat from the exhaust is 530 degrees Celsius. Think about how hot that is. Then with just air flowing by, it reduces it to 200 degrees Celsius, and then we've got the heat shield, and then you can store your luggage. McLaren has paid special detail in making sure that the seats in the GT are as comfortable as possible. They still look fantastic. The leather is extremely supple, but they've got more support for long distance driving, as we'll test out tomorrow. And yes, if you want, you can even get a McLaren bespoke luggage kit for your GT. All of these items at the same time will fit in the back. Cool to see little bits of trim pieces, some knobs, and beautiful brushed aluminum. I'm imagining these are the air vents, some different leather options here, different thread options.
Now, something I've never seen before on a McLaren is quilted leather, and I think this takes the interior to a whole nother level. Now, McLaren refers to this as digital craftsmanship, and I've been told through MSO that you can actually design a pattern or find a picture of a pattern and fit it to size, give it to MSO, and they can actually put nearly whatever pattern you want, if you have the money, on your seats. How cool is that? Now, typically luggage compartments aren't made completely of leather. That's because while it looks beautiful, the leather is likely to get damaged. Well, McLaren has thought of this and developed a super fabric in conjunction with NASA that looks cool and can withstand serious wear and tear. So check this out. We've got one color of super fabric here. It's got kind of a, let's see, It's got a hexagonal pattern to it, but it's significantly stronger than leather, looks cool, and can withstand the test of time. Got it in a whole bunch of different colors, but pretty cool to see some unique materials that I've never heard of before being used in the interior of the McLaren GT. Apparently, there's a cashmere option for the interior as well.
All right, there we go. Leaving at 8:30 tomorrow morning with Emma Walsh as my passenger in the McLaren GT.
Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the tour of this insane residence, the helicopter ride, and some behind the scenes explanation about the materials and the technology involved in the McLaren GT. Now the actual driving impressions are under embargo till September 17th, so we're gonna have to wait on that video, which I'm filming tomorrow. But as always guys, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and if you enjoyed this more casual lifestyle sort of vlog, let me know in the comments section below and I can do more. See you next video.